Hello everyone! Today I'm doing a reading about retrogrades and what sort of stuff you should look back on and then correct. In terms of retrogrades this year, it's quite interesting. I think every planet went retrograde or it will go retrograde this year. And I think retrogrades are a really good time to go back to what you have to correct. And since there's so many of them this year, this is one of the main themes, I believe. And if you are not really familiar with astrology, all the planets starting from Mercury up to Pluto and then some of the asteroids as well, they can go retrograde, which means they appear to be moving backwards through the zodiac. So basically they move forward, then they stop, and then they move back, and then once they are direct again, they will have to go through this part of the zodiac that they went before. And in terms of specific degrees on the birth chart or on the zodiac wheel, sometimes the same degree can be hit 3 times or even 5 times depending on the retrograde. So imagine it goes like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then, so it can be either a 1 hit if you have any planet in that area. It can be 3 hits because it goes forward, back, and then forward again, or even 5 times if you just happen to have a placement like this. And we have Mercury retrogrades every year, I think 3 times a year. We had Venus retrograde this year. Then Mars is going retrograde pretty soon, and it will stay in Aries until the end of the year. Then, of course, we're having Saturn retrograde, Jupiter is retrograde at the moment, Pluto is retrograde, Uranus goes retrograde soon, so you can see that there's so much there. And that's why I'm doing this reading, because if you're not familiar with astrology, you don't really know how to check which part of your chart is affected by these retrogrades. And then with choosing any of the piles, I can check the energies and the sort of stuff that you can go back and correct. Some people don't really like retrogrades because they say, especially Mercury retrogrades have really bad reputation. But I believe it's all about patience. It's all about taking time to look back at what you've done already. And sometimes it's better to double check things and just to go back and correct them so that when you are moving forward, you know that you've built the best foundations possible. It's not that you are just rushing ahead with all the things. Sometimes you have to stop, you have to go back. And this is what this reading is about. So we have 3 piles. I have no idea what crystal this is. I just found it at home. That's probably like a quartz cluster. I don't know, that's group 1. Group 2 is amethyst. And then group 3 is anandalite. It's a really nice one. Okay, so take a while, pick whichever group resonates with you. And you can stop the video. And of course I will start with pile 1. So let's see what sort of things you should go back to and correct them. What maybe you didn't pay attention to before. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll just put them up. Okay, I think now we can see all of them. So I decided to pick 4 tarot cards from 2 different decks. Then this one is my own deck of emotions and feelings. This is the Monology Oracle deck, and this is Judy Hall's Crystal... What was it, this one? Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. Okay, so looking at the tarot cards, I feel like with these 2, the 6 of Swords and the World, To me, it feels like perhaps you wanted to move on to a new area of life. You just wanted to have peace, because you can see in Six of Swords, it's about moving on from these troubled waters to something that's calm and peaceful. But then there is the World in reverse, and the feeling I get from it is that perhaps you wanted to move on even though the cycle hasn't finished yet. And I get it that it might be quite difficult to stay in this sort of situation when it's, when you have the storm and when it's really difficult. But sometimes certain cycles have to be closed. You can't run away from them. And with these two, so this is Temperance in reverse, and this is the Magician in reverse. And here I see some sort of imbalance. Maybe this is what you were trying to escape. Maybe you thought, okay, by starting something new, by moving on from this situation, perhaps I will have more balance. But I think still something has to end. It's not finished yet. Or maybe you refuse to let something end. And then with this Magician, I get a feeling that you're not using all of your resources, all of your abilities. In the upright position, the Magician is about manifestation. He has all of the elements. He has the pentacles, the swords, the cups, the wands, and because of that, he can manifest whatever he wants. But I feel in reverse is that even though you have all these different abilities, you don't really make use of them. Maybe you don't have enough confidence to use them. Maybe you don't feel like you have them. Or maybe you're out of balance. Maybe you feel like, oh, I only have this cup and this wand, and you don't see what's there at your feet. Maybe you wait for other people to bring you all these things, but you have that. I feel like you have that and you're not using it. You're not using it to its full potential. And you can see this is 3 of the major arcana cards. That's quite a lot. That's quite serious. But I feel like the 6 of Swords kind of binds it together. And just looking at the way that the cards are laid out, it's as if this person is running away from this world and it's moving towards the Magician and the Temperance card. So maybe because you're trying to run away, like move on from something that hasn't been finished, that's why you lose your balance. And I feel like with the retrograde season, this is what you should pay attention to. That maybe you moved on too fast and you didn't allow things to finish properly. You didn't allow the cycle to end naturally. And somehow I just keep looking at this card and how you have all 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just had to make sure. All 6 of these swords on this side. And this one is empty. And you can see this is kind of close to the world as well, but here this is empty. So maybe now it makes me think of this Magician. Do you just keep all of your talents, all of your resources in one place, and they are not distributed evenly? And maybe that's why you're not making use of them. Maybe you just have to look through them and be like, okay, I have this available to me, I have this available, and that, and that. So it's not just in one area. Because sometimes it's really easy to miss things when they are just bundled together. I believe you do have that. You have what it takes. But you're not making use of it. Like, look, he's not even looking at the swords. Or maybe you think that by using them, it will take you back to the situation, to the problems. Maybe you're trying to make space for something new, not realizing that you still have all of this on your boat. And again, it makes me think of temperance, because it's about balance. It's about having the exact amount you need. And here it's all on one side. It's not, it's not like 3 here and 3 here. No, it's all there. And maybe it's your mental attitude. Maybe you're just thinking, okay, I will just move on. I'll move on to something new, and then I don't have to think about something ending. Or maybe you have to end something, but you refuse. Yeah, the World card is about cycles. It's the last card in the Major Arcana. But in reverse, yeah, it's like refusing to end a cycle, or the cycle hasn't ended yet. Okay, maybe I'll pull a few more cards just to know what's going on here. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll ask for advice, like what do you have to do? What is the thing that you should do during the retrograde season? Because I feel like you moved on too quick. Something is not finished yet, and you're not making use of your resources. Okay, so group 1, what is the advice for group 1? And then I'll look at the other oracle cards and how they fit into the reading. Oh well, I'll just pick these 2 cards then. What do we have? We have 7 of Swords in reverse, and we have the Fool in reverse. Okay, so 7 of Swords to me is about some sort of deception. And you see we have 6, and now it's 7 in reverse. So upright, it's about deceiving someone. It's like sneaking out, and maybe, nobody sees this person sneaking out, and they are taking away these 5 of Swords, and then they leave 2. And 2 of Swords is about making a decision. But in reverse, I feel like you have to realize if you have been deceiving yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. Why? Why do you want to move on from certain situations? And with the Fool in reverse, I find it interesting how this is the last card, and this is, well, it's not, it could be the first card, it could be the last, it's 0, so it doesn't have any specific place, but I see it as the beginning of the Major Arcana. So you have the ending that's not finished yet, but then you also have a beginning that's blocked. So it's like being in between 2 different cycles. So something hasn't ended yet, but you're moving away from it. And yet you have the Fool in reverse. So this new energy is blocked. Maybe I feel like it could go either way. You're either too eager to move into this new beginning. See, there's this leap of faith he has to do. But maybe you're too eager. Maybe you don't take the time to use what you have and then make the situation better, rather than jumping blindly into some new beginning. Or maybe you're hesitant. It could go either way, like being too hesitant to start something new, or being too eager and not really paying attention. I mean, with the Fool, it's this balance. See, temperance. It's this balance between not overthinking things, it being like, okay, I have to make this leap of faith and just start something new, but you cannot be reckless. You can't just dive in head first when you see that the water is not deep enough, because then it's just being stupid. You're going to break your neck. And I feel like this retrograde period, it's about finding your resources, like, stop betraying yourself, stop deceiving yourself about what your current situation is, and realize you do have what it takes. You have the resources. You're just not using them. Actually, let's pull one more card for the Magician. Okay, the Ace of Swords fell out. Yeah. So the Ace of Swords is telling me that there is clarity, like you need the clarity. Because maybe in your mind, you don't really think you have all these things to make something new come to you. But the Ace of Swords is like cut through all this confusion, cut through all this, all the clouds that are surrounding you, and maybe your mind. And this is your job for the retrograde season. Find this clarity in your mind. And then I feel like everything else will fall in its place. Then in terms of the other cards, we have a crush. Maybe the situation moving on has to do with a romantic situation. Maybe you have feelings for someone, you have a crush on someone, but you thought, no, I don't see it happening. Maybe it's too much for me, it's troubling me, so I will move on to a new person, or I will move on to some new situation without really dealing with your emotions. I mean, there's no cups here, it's all swords and then major arcana. So I feel like it's about your mind. It's about how you think about this. There's no heart here. There's no wants either. So there's no like inner motivation. It's all about your mind and how you think about this. So maybe you are too much in your head. But there is a very strong energy of endings, of cycles that haven't ended yet and beginnings that haven't come yet. So it's, you have to wait. You have to get this clarity. So whether it is about a romantic situation or not, I feel that there is a possibility of manifesting something and gaining balance, especially within your mind. But first of all, you need clarity, you need information, and maybe some information will come to you. Maybe this is it. Maybe you will get some sort of information that will all of a sudden make everything clear, and you will realize, oh, okay, yeah, I don't want to deceive myself. I want to be honest with myself, and I want to finish what I started, or finish what has to be finished. And then there is the new moon in Sagittarius, and it says luck is on your side. So new moons are about new beginnings. And Sagittarius, it's all about travel. It's about religion, higher education, philosophy. Yeah, it is a lucky sign. I feel like in this situation there is this new beginning coming. And it will be something lucky for you. It will affect you in a positive way. But see, when the new moon, when it is new moon, you cannot really see the moon. It's all dark. So maybe at this point in time you're like, okay, I cannot see anything, I'm confused. But that's why you need the Ace of Swords. I feel like it's coming to you. It's just about realizing whether you moved on from something too fast. And then let's see this one. Okay, so it's Quantum Quattro, that's number 12. So what it says is that Quantum Quattro has amazing healing power and a dramatic effect on physical vitality. It brings about an energetic shift and integration. See, so reading about this energetic shift, I feel like maybe you were trying to shift from one energy to another, but it's not done yet. You still have to have patience. Now what caught my eye, it's accept those of value, find the gift hidden deep within mistakes, forgive and let go. So maybe it was that you wanted to move on from a situation, but you're still hanging on to things. You still have these swords on your boat, and this is why the situation cannot finish. Like, it cannot come to an end because you're still holding on to stuff. Release yourself from codependencies and abusive relationships. Yeah, so if it is about some sort of relationship, maybe it is time to see it for what it is and really move on to something calmer. And you see, this magician also, it can be a person who can be manipulative, who has all these, I don't know, like all these things, and they use them to take advantage of people. So if you feel like there is someone like that around you, maybe they are causing this imbalance within you. So yeah, just be careful. Heal your inner child. And this also makes me feel of the Fool. Maybe there is something with your inner child, something. This is a really happy card to me. It's really joyful. Maybe within you, that aspect of yourself is blocked. Maybe this is what is stopping you from a new beginning. And look at this. Recognize the resources you have to draw on. And this is exactly the magician, you see. So recognize what you have, and then I feel like it will all be good. And then for the divination, we have karmic aspects need healing. Your question is nowhere near as straightforward as it seems, so dig deep and see all sides. The power of the whole is much greater than its component parts. And now the best part that I just saw. Once you have all the information, you are invincible and evolve rapidly. So see, I feel like with this retrograde season, you will have some sort of information, and then you will be able to move super quick through all this. And for the healing insight, it says recognizing that you cannot heal anyone else or influence their behavior. Recognizing that you cannot heal anyone else or influence their behavior enhances your own well-being. So maybe you thought that you can help somebody who is this magician. In reverse, maybe you thought that you can help them, you can heal them, but you were deceiving yourself. You can only help yourself. You cannot force someone to get on that boat with you to move to calmer waters. You just can't. It's only you on the boat. And if you try to get them, then the boat will just sink. And it's just not a good thing. Believe me. Yeah, personal experience. You cannot force people to heal or help them if they don't want your help. Yeah, so for the soul path, we have holistic healing for the soul. And yeah, with this retrograde season, it finishes, all the planets, not all the planets will be direct, but around December, like November, December, this is when the energies would be more direct again. So until that time, I would say look into yourself. Find these resources that you have. And if you have hurried to move on to something new, just think about what is it that you're moving from. Maybe it has to end naturally. Maybe it's not the nicest thing, but now that I think about it, some people feel more comfortable when things are not ending, but they are not beginning either. Maybe you are suspended. There's no hanged man here, but I feel like it might be easier for some people to not allow other things to end, because then it is kind of difficult to deal with endings, but then they don't want to start anything new because they feel anxious, because they are not familiar with things. That's quite like if you have some fixed energies in your birth chart. So Taurus, Scorpio, Leo. What else is there? And Aquarius. Yeah, that's the 4 fixed signs. So just look into that. Yes. And luck is on your side. You don't have to worry. Just be honest with yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Make sure you really reach for clarity. And I feel like once you have this information, you will have this sword and you will just cut through any confusion and you will move super quick. You will find your resources, you will find this balance within you, and you will come to terms with any endings that will happen. Because you just have to make space for new things. If you hold on to stuff, then how can you have new things? And that's the cycle, that's the cycle of life. Things start and things end and then new things start. So it might feel uncomfortable, but once it happens, I feel like it will happen for your highest good. Okay, anything else? No, I feel like that's it for this group. So remember, just take time. Also look into your inner child. If you have lost your enthusiasm or, doing things spontaneously, just look into that and recognize the resources that you have. Don't feel like you're in a hurry. You have to move on from things. But beware if there's anyone who you feel is manipulative, who is maybe using you and you try to help them, you try to heal them, but it's not helping you. It's putting you off balance. It's not worth it. And that's what this card is talking about. You can only heal yourself. Okay, so that's it for group 1. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will manage to sort anything during this retrograde period that has to be sorted. Okay, so now on to group 2. Hello group 2, so if you chose this amethyst crystal, this is your reading. And one thing I didn't say in the introduction is how long this retrograde period will last. And looking at the planets, Jupiter is going direct in September, and then a bit later on it's Saturn, but they are still moving. They still have to move out of this shadow period. So when I looked at the ephemeris, around November, end of December, this is when the energies will be more straightforward again. So basically you still have half of August, whole of September, whole of October, and I would say whole of November as well. So that's 4 months. That's quite some time to work on stuff. Okay, so let's see what do you have to go back to and correct that you haven't. So let's see. How did I do it on the other side? Okay. Okay, so that's it. So let's see what is the situation here. So with this High Priestess in reverse and this Nine of Swords, I feel like you haven't been using your intuition as much. There's something blocked. Usually with Nine of Swords in reverse, I would say that you're moving out of the anxieties, but somehow in this situation, I feel like it's the other way around. It's like you're trying to block them, but they are still somewhere in your subconsciousness. Or maybe they reach such a high level that they are so overwhelming. And I believe it has something to do with this more intuitive side of you. Maybe you ignored certain red flags, certain information, certain feelings, like, you know, when you have a gut feeling and you just try to rationalize it. And this is what brought you these anxieties. And then we also have the gloomy card here, which I feel like it connects, and you can see all these like dark colors. Maybe this is how you feel at the moment because your intuition is blocked, and then whatever comes to your mind, it takes such an extreme form that it blocks you. Because usually with the cards in reverse, it says that the energy is blocked, but I feel like because this is in reverse, it blocks you. There's so many anxieties that they block you. But then on the other side, we have the 9 of Wands and the 6 of Wands as well. And the 9 of Wands, it's about perseverance. It's about still holding up. Even though you went through a battle, you are still up and fighting. But I feel like you might be tired. You might be looking out where this next attack is coming from. Maybe this is what is causing you these anxieties, because these are 2 9s. And then the 6 of Wands, I feel like it's about victory. It's about just feeling like you won. It's about being proud. Actually, let's check, because that's somehow, I don't know, how does that connect? Let's see. How does the 6 of Wands connect with the rest of the situation? Okay, let's take one card for this. How does the 6 of Wands connect with the rest of the cards? Let's just clarify it. Okay, just one card. Let's pick this one. 5 of Pentacles. That's interesting. So on the surface, you might seem like, yeah, I won. I'm victorious. But then underneath, you have 5 of Pentacles. There's this feeling of being left out in the cold. There's this feeling of poverty. That's what I get from this card. When you feel like, okay, I don't have enough. And I feel like I'm out there wearing these rags, and there's snow, it's cold, and what am I to do? And you can see this person probably cannot walk properly, and now I feel like that kind of connects with that 9 of Wands. Those battle scars or battle wounds. I feel like that's the case. Maybe you just, on the surface, you feel like you're victorious, but I feel like this is on the surface, but then this is underneath the surface. So if you feel you lack something, there's some sort of feeling of lack. And maybe this is what you have been doing before. Maybe you kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and now you're tired. And because you're so tired, you feel like you don't have enough. And this is why your intuition is blocked. That's why you feel gloomy. That's why you have so many anxieties. And I feel this retrograde period until, even until the end of the year, you will be going back and correcting this mindset. Yeah, this is mindset of lack. There's not enough for me. I don't have a warm place to go to. I don't have enough money. I don't have food. I don't have clothes. I don't have safety. I have been scarred from some battles I had. And was it worth fighting it? Maybe on the surface you seem like you are successful, but yeah, there's some unrest. I feel like it's shaky. Okay, so let's see what is the advice here. What should you do? And how? In what way can you correct it? Let's see what comes out in the cards. Let's take out maybe 2 cards. We'll see For the other pile, they just fell out. But sometimes when I let that happen, I just have like 3 or 4 cards falling out, and it's too much, and then it just gets too complicated. Okay, so let's see, 2 cards. So what is the advice? What can you do? What can you correct? So you have the Lovers in reverse and the 4 of Cups. Actually, let's take one more about these two. Like, let's just clarify these two a bit more with just 1 card. Okay, so what is very clear is that there is some sort of decision to make. So we have the 2 of Swords in reverse and you have the Lovers in reverse. And the Lovers is also about a choice. And here you also have a choice. And here it's also about a choice. I feel like during this retrograde season, you will have to make a decision. What is it that you want? And you might feel stuck because this is in reverse, this is in reverse. And 4 of Cups is about like waiting, apathy. You're just staring at these cups and you're like, oh my god, I'm so bored, nothing's happening, and I don't want this, I don't want that. It's just, maybe that's why, you see, you're stuck. You cannot make a choice because you don't listen to your intuition and you are stuck in your anxieties. And if this is the advice, I feel like you have to return to your balance. And maybe sometimes you do have to just wait, because now I saw these. The answers you need are coming. Maybe that's the key. You have to wait for the right answers, and then once you have them, you can make a good decision. And with the full moon, so the full moon is when you have the moon in one sign and sun in the opposite sign. That's how you get a full moon. And when you have full moon in Gemini, that means the sun is in Sagittarius. And while Gemini as a sign is more focused on the details, on the little things, like facts, details, all that sort of stuff, Sagittarius, it's more about the bigger picture. So perhaps you have been focusing too much on this little like nitty-gritty stuff, but you haven't taken into consideration, like you just zoom in onto something so much that you no longer know what you're looking at. And that's why maybe you cannot make the decision, because you zoomed in so close. Imagine, like in your mind, you're so focused on one thing, on one topic. It's just over and over again. It brings you anxieties. It makes you feel like you don't have enough. But I feel like there is victory in there. Yeah, you have to look at things from a different perspective, not just focus on this. You know, like if I would focus on just this, it would seem like it's blue, but then you have this whole picture here. There's so much more to it. So, yeah. And the full moon is about something coming to its highest point. So, it's like the energy is increasing and then it reaches its highest point. That's when the full moon happens. So maybe that's the case. You just have to wait for things to gain momentum, to reach this place or stage when it has loaded fully. And then this is when you can make your decisions. Maybe that's how you can move out of your anxieties. Actually, what was at the bottom? I didn't check. So we have 8 of Wands. Yeah, that's a card of fast movement, fast information. And I feel like these informations are coming pretty quick. Whether it's some sort of email, letter, somebody telling you something, it's like straight to the point. And you see you have Wands and Wands here. There's a lot of fire here. But this 5 of Pentacles, this poverty mindset, that there is not enough, and these anxieties, this is what's blocking you, this is what's causing this imbalance. and this feeling of gloominess. What else? Maybe let's just get one card. Why not? Let's just get one more card. Just the final card. So any sort of advice from the spirit, whatever comes, let's just see what comes and then I'll try to interpret it. Okay, anything else? Nine of Wands again, see? Yeah, you're trying so hard, you can persevere through all these tough times, but you can see this person kind of like wounded, and for me this face, it's showing like, okay, I'm clutching onto my wand, and where will this next attack come from? Will it come from the left? Will it come from the right? Okay, I have to constantly be out there and look out for all these dangers. And I made it so far, I made it through, but at what cost? I keep hearing that, like, at what cost did it happen? And at the bottom, see, like, I'm not making this stuff up. That's why I love tarot. Like, look, it's the High Priestess in reverse again. I cannot believe this. Like, you have Nine of Wands, Nine of Wands. High Priestess in reverse, High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, you're not using your intuition. It's blocked. Oh, it's crazy. And you can see how you also have like the black and white here, the pillars, and then you have man and woman here. It's about two opposite things, just like in full moon, the sun and the moon in opposition. That's what makes it full moon. And then you have one sword and another. It's like two opposite things. It's about duality. And I feel like it's about bringing it to balance. And you have to do it within you. It's not about your mind. It's about your heart, your intuition, what you feel is right for you. Because maybe you don't have to keep fighting. Yeah. Let's just read this one, the Polychrome Jasper. Yeah. I did not expect that, seriously, like these Nine of Wands, the High Priestess twice. It's crazy. Let's see what it says in the booklet. It says, Polychrome Jasper is a shaman's stone that assists with traveling between worlds, offering protection while you travel. It helps you to remember why you are living on Earth. And actually that Eight of Wands that I showed you before, it can be travel. But see, it's about protection while you travel, so while you move from one place to another. And it says, you belong to a greater group, be it a family or a clan. If you feel isolated, reach out to others out of strength rather than neediness. And now what I just saw, like this person is alone. So maybe you feel isolated after your battles. For companionship, choose an animal ally. Ground your efforts in the practical, everyday world. You have the gift of mediation and see all sides of an issue. See, that's what I was talking about with this full moon in Gemini. So you might see the details with that Gemini, but then the sun in Sagittarius shows you the bigger picture. Some sort of philosophy to it all. It's not just about dry facts. It's about putting it in a context. And I feel like you can do that with the High Priestess as well, using your intuition. For divination, big changes are in the offing. Concentrate on practical outcomes. Be down to earth, but pay attention to dreams. Yeah, I feel like be down to earth, realize that this is just a mindset. You do have enough. It's not like poverty. It might be in your mind that you don't have enough, you have anxieties, but you have to pay attention to dreams. So don't try to ignore what this High Priestess is bringing you. Balance your emotional energies and nurture yourself to find joy. Find your power ally and stay under its protection and guidance. Give assistance to others who seek freedom. Guard against giving away your powers. And then we have disease arises out of ancestral distress carried in DNA. Healing and forgiveness sent down your family line, replace this with well-being. And that's kind of what I feel with these two, Nine of Wands, with the Nine of Swords, and with this Five of Pentacles. It might be that you were raised in this sort of mindset where you were taught, okay, we don't have enough. There's never enough. And there's certain anxieties that keep coming back to you, feeling like someone can attack you any moment. But I feel like some answer will come to you. Maybe you will realize, okay, it's not like this. I have the Six of Wands. I can be successful. Because this keeps repeating, you know, that Nine of Wands, the High Priestess, some sort of decision. Maybe once you made this decision, this is when it's going to get better. And from the soul path, it says integration and reconnection. Maybe sometimes you have to integrate these anxieties in some way and reconnect to who you really are. Turn this upside down so you're in balance. You have this masculine and feminine energy balanced. Just like when you have the High Priestess, the black pillar and the white pillar. You know, there's two differences, but you have to find the middle ground. You cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore one of them, or you cannot pretend, okay, I only want one of them. So just a few words about the yin and yang energy, the masculine and feminine. So while the yang energy, the masculine, is really active and it's about action, going out there, doing stuff, the feminine, it's more passive. And I don't want to make it sound like it's in a negative way. Sometimes you have to wait for better things to come to you. And this feminine energy is also about, it's about intuition. So from these cards, to me, it looks like you maybe focus too much on the masculine energy, because Wands, which is a fire element, they are yang. I mean, yang as in yin yang. Yeah. And you see, this is blocked. So just take some time to connect with your intuition. And I feel like then you won't feel as stuck. So just to bring it all together, so during this retrograde season, I would say it's time to solve these anxieties in your mind. It's time to realize you do have enough. It's not about poverty. Once you put yourself into balance, this is when you will realize, yeah, I have enough and I belong. I belong to some bigger circle. And maybe I went through a lot. Maybe I had to fight some battles. And I'm tired, but if I take time, I can be victorious with that Six of Wands. Yeah, just some choice needs to be made. And I feel like that's why it's blocked, because you don't have all the information yet. And it's the same with group 1. They also had similar thing with the Ace of Swords, that some sort of information will have to come. And we also had the Eight of Wands, so I feel like it's coming soon. So yeah, the answers you need are coming. So just don't feel like nothing is happening. Something will happen that will help you with making the decision. But until then, I really hope you don't give in to your anxieties that much, and that eventually you will come out of it successful. Okay, so that was it for group 2. Thank you for listening, and now I will move on to group 3. Okay, bye! Hello, if you chose Untitled group 3, this is your reading. So let's see what you have in the cards, and we're just looking at what sort of things you should go back to and correct during the retrograde season. And this is what I didn't say in the beginning, but basically this retrograde season, I would say the energies will be more direct around November, end of December. That's when we have this big conjunction, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And I feel like around that time, something new will start. But until then, we have like half of August, September, October, November, like 4-5 months to still go back to certain issues and focus on them and correct them if they have to be corrected. So let's see what you have. How did I do it with the other piles? I always ask it myself. I wanted to have the same layout. All right. Let's put it this way. Okay. So what is going on in here? We have prideful, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, when I got the cards, when I shuffled them, I was like, okay, this message here is clear. And I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm calling you out, but this is what the cards are saying. So the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like, are you taking too much time for yourself? It's not a bad thing, you know, self-care, but to me it looks like you're, okay, I don't want to accuse anyone of anything, but for me this energy is of being so self-indulgent that it crosses a certain line. It's when you focus too much on the material side of life. Maybe you've been spending so much money to make yourself feel better. Maybe you've been eating too much. I don't know, maybe drinking too much just to comfort yourself. But this reached such a level that it's just too much. And what these two cards are telling me, it's, are you putting enough effort? I know it sounds like I'm just calling you out, but yeah, just bear with me. So with the 7 of Pentacles, I feel like you expect things to come to you like this. And perhaps you don't realize that it takes time for things to grow. It's like with plants. You plant a seed, you cannot expect a tree with fruit next day. And it's not only that you plant the seed, you have to work on it, you have to water it, you have to just dedicate some time and effort to the seed so that it grows and it brings you fruit. But because it's in reverse, it's blocked. Did you put enough energy? Yeah. And then with the 8 of Pentacles, it's very similar. So upright, it's about working one by one on your pentacles, on these physical things. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a project, something that you've been working on. And when it's upright, you work on it one by one and you put the effort and energy. But when it's reverse, are you putting this effort? I feel like these two cards have such a similar message, especially in this reading. Then we have the 3 of Wands in reverse, which to me it speaks of not planning ahead, expecting that things will somehow, just work out and you can still stay there and enjoy your life. And maybe, I don't know, wake up late, eat junk food, spend your money on things that you don't even need. And you don't take time to plan. And if you don't plan, you're not going to get anything, like nothing's going to grow. I don't know. I'll pull out some more cards, but that's the sort of message I get from these 4 cards. And perhaps now, with the retrograde season, it's time to go back and plan. Make some sort of plan so that you turn these 3 cards upright, so that you will have some sort of fruit, some sort of harvest. And that you know, you put in this hard work and something, you will be rewarded for it. So let's see, let's just get some more information. And with this prideful card, it's maybe you think, well, why should I plan? I'm good enough, you know. I have so much confidence and I have so much pride that everything's going to be good. And of course, it's good to be confident. It's good to have pride, but sometimes you have to swallow your pride and just do the work and get your hands dirty. Okay, so let's see any more information for group 3. Maybe something good, so it's not like I'm just making you sound lazy. Okay, and let's just do it one more. Okay, so group 3. What else can you tell me? And more information on group 3 and advice and more information. Let's pick out 2 cards. Let's see how it goes. 10 of Pentacles, see? You have this 10 of Pentacles available to you, but you have to put the work. It's waiting for you. And the 5 of Wands. Yeah. To me, it looks like some inner conflict. Because it's reverse. Or, let's see. Or maybe it's about ending some sort of conflict. So that you can put your time and effort to reach this 10 of Pentacles. Maybe that's where you put all your energy, to some sort of silly conflicts. Or maybe they're not silly, maybe it's important. But in reverse. Yeah. You know, it looks like it's what, like 5 people hitting each other with these wands and playing around, and you know, like when you're kids and you just run around and you attack each other. But in reverse. Is that what you spent your time on? I don't know, but you have such an amazing opportunity for these 10 of Pentacles. You just have to put the effort in, and I feel like this is what you should do during this retrograde season. Go back, make your plan, turn this around, put the effort in, and you will get this 10 of Pentacles sooner or later. So at the bottom we have King of Wands. So see, Wands, Wands, Pentacles. Yeah, you do have energy for it. You have this personal power, this fire within you to do it. And see, full moon in Aries as well. Okay, let's just get maybe one more on this Queen of Pentacles. Why is it in reverse? Okay, one card on the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, and now I just am thinking, maybe you keep having this conflict because you have too much pride. You're like, no, I'm not going to quit, even though it's a silly conflict. I don't know why I keep saying silly conflict, but I don't know, it just comes to my mind like that. Maybe that's why you don't want to stop, because you have too much pride. Okay, what is this Queen of Pentacles about? Why is it in reverse? 4 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you want stability. Or maybe you found another person that you feel so happy with, and you together, you just spoil one another. And that's why you focus too much on them and you don't put the effort in your own work. I mean, it's a nice happy card and it's upright. It's celebration. Maybe you're celebrating too much. I mean, if there's something to celebrate, go for it. Just don't forget about yourself and your plans. Yeah, and at the bottom we have 6 of Cups. So maybe, yeah, you found someone who you feel is your soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call them, and you focused on them so much that you just spoil each other and you kind of stopped watering your plants, let's say. Because this is out there, it's upright, it's waiting for you. It's just about putting in the effort, planning. Yeah. I mean, this is really, like, these two cards are so nice. Or maybe you keep looking at what was in the past. Maybe you had somebody, but it didn't work out. I mean, it's upright. You never know. Maybe it worked out, maybe it didn't. And you just keep comforting yourself. Because, oh, in the past, it was so great. But now is now. You can't go back in the past. You have to do whatever has to be done. You have to put the effort. Let's get one more card. I'm curious. And advice and information, whatever needs to be seen or heard, whatever. One more card. And the messages from the spirit, whatever we have to know. Okay, one more card. Last one. Let's pick this one. Two of Wands. Yeah. But this is also about a choice. See, we have 3, 4, 2. It's like 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So you have 2 wands. It's like, to me, it feels like, which direction will you look at? Will you look this way or will you look that way? And you have to choose. You cannot look at 2 sides at the same time. Yeah, you have to fix your gaze at one thing or another. And I feel like this person is looking at this 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, you have to plan. You have to have some vision for the future and plan for it properly. And put in your energy and you're gonna get this 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. And with this full moon in Aries, it says a fiery climax approaches. And when we have full moon, it means that the moon is one sign and then the sun is in the opposite sign. That's how the full moon happens. So if we have the moon in Aries, the sun falls in Libra. And while Aries, it's all about this inner drive. It's about saying, okay, I am, and I will go for this because that's my decision. I will just go for it. So maybe this is you thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on myself because that's what I want. But then Libra is about cooperation. Yeah, 5 of Wands in reverse, those conflicts. It's about realizing there are other people around you, and sometimes it's better to, not better, but you can achieve more when you cooperate with people, when you finish fighting. Yeah, I feel like Aries is, Aries can really fall into conflict. It's not like they like that, but it's something happening, you know? They have to get their way. But Libra says no. Let's see what is the best decision and let's find some sort of balance. Let's find some sort of solution to it. And I feel like that's what you should focus on. Remember what you want. So don't lose your sight. Like, keep it on the prize, keep it on whatever you want. If it's that 10 of Pentacles, go for it. But then at the same time, don't cause some sort of conflict because you are so fixed on it. Sometimes you need to be more flexible. You need to listen what other people have to say. I don't know why I want to pull out another card for the Queen of Pentacles. Oh yeah, we have 3 of Cups at the bottom. So it's like coming together with people, celebrating, reunion. Yeah, and celebrating here. Oh, what are you celebrating? What happened? Wow. Let's just get one more. Why not for the Queen of Pentacles? I'm just curious. Okay, one more for the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, what else can you tell me about this Queen of Pentacles? One more Queen of Pentacles. Why is it in reverse? Okay, let's pick one. Knight of Swords. That's the only Swords card here. And for me, it's a really rapid energy. It's completely different from the Queen of Pentacles. Because this is Earth. This is about being grounded, staying there. And maybe focusing too much on the physical side. To me, it's saying maybe get out there, get some speed, move. Don't stay in one place for too long. Don't feel like you're stuck. I mean, feeling stable is important, but sometimes you can stay so much in one place that you don't realize there's so much more to see. But this can also signify like getting a message soon, like really quick, because the knights are the messengers and the swords, it's air, so it can happen really fast. So maybe some messages will come and it will make you move towards this Ten of Pentacles. And at the bottom we have Temperance. Yeah, you need some balance. That's what I feel like. There's nothing wrong with comforting yourself when you feel a bit, but sometimes you can stay in this energy for too long. It's like when you're sitting on a sofa or you have a nice armchair and it's so comfy, you just are like, I'd do this, but I don't feel like moving because it's so comfy. So you have to find a balance between celebrating, comforting yourself, but also don't lose sight of why you're here, like what's your goal. I feel like that's important. And then for Amethyst, let's read it from the booklet. I think it's nice. It has nice messages. So it talks about inner peace. Oh yeah, Temperance. A powerful protector, purifier, and natural tranquilizer, Amethyst calms the mind and balances extremes. See how fitting is that? Like seriously, I don't choose these cards on purpose. They just appear and they always... Oh, the message is just fitting so well. Okay, I just saw this. You have an addictive personality. Make a concentrated effort to overcome such behavior or obsessions of any kind and avoid overindulgence. What did I just say? Oh my god, these cards today are so on point. Oh, I just want to laugh. Yeah. Find the balance, don't overindulge. Balance work and play. You are prone to excess in both. And actually, this Eight of Pentacles can also talk about being a perfectionist, but being too much of a perfectionist, so that instead of moving on, you keep just focusing on one pentacle, and you just like, no, it's not perfect enough. I have to put more effort and I have to put more time, and it's already good enough. So yeah, you have to balance work and play. Yeah, that Four of Wands, that celebration. We had Three of Cups as well, like celebrating stuff. Where did I finish? Understanding hidden causes of compulsive actions bring peace. So yeah, understand why. Why do you indulge so much? If you do, if you don't, then yeah, that's not a problem. Hand your will over to your soul and allow your spirituality to flourish. Then for divination, we have release self-defeating programs. Yeah, because it might be that by overindulging yourself, you're self-defeating yourself because you don't put the effort, and at the end of the day, what is the result? Like, you are losing out, nobody else. So just be careful. Do not rely on others. You create anything you set your mind to. And I feel like that's exactly this, because Pentacles are about the physical, like the material world, and you have 10. So I feel like if you put the effort, if you set your mind to it, then you can get whatever you want. Be shrewd, and shrewd, is that how you read it? Whatever. In business dealings, pay attention to your family. And I feel like Ten of Pentacles can also kind of talk about ancestors and family, not in an emotional sense, but like your lineage and stuff. So yeah, that's, just watch out. An honest verdict and success in a court case are possible. Maintain your integrity and let the universe decide. Healing insight. Letting go of cravings leads to inner freedom and creates well-being. So you have to let go of these cravings, like this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Find balance. Like this is inner balance, right? And for Soul Path, it says developing unshakable inner peace. So yeah, this Temperance card fits so well. Yeah. And just another word on this Queen of Pentacles. To me, it's like this mother energy. A mother who wants to give you everything and spoils you and keeps bringing you stuff, like delicious foods, like, oh, look what I bought for you. Here you have this. But at some point, it's just too much. And if you have some issue within yourself, some anxiety, some insecurity, you cannot fill that hole with material stuff. No matter what you buy, no matter how much you will party and celebrate, you're not going to fill that void. And you have to fill it from within. You have to find your inner balance. So yeah, so for this retrograde period, find a balance between indulging yourself and working. Don't work too much on one thing. It's good to put the work, but at some point, it's time to let go and release. You cannot hold on to one thing and be like, no, it's not perfect enough. It is good enough, seriously. Just keep in mind what you aspire to, what your vision is, and make plans. Because if you fail to what was this saying? If you fail to plan to fail, something like that. So you have to plan, and eventually you will get this Ten of Pentacles. You have to put the effort. So don't lose your time on some conflicts and battles and getting your way, because I have to do it because, well, my ego tells me that if I don't, then yeah, I don't matter. You matter, and if whether you lose or win, nobody cares. You have this Ten of Pentacles waiting for you. So use this retrograde season to get back in balance. Like, see? Balance. And then we have Queen of Cups, and then I see High Priestess. Okay, we're not gonna get into this, it's gonna be too much messages. But yeah, find balance. Why do you have to keep indulging yourself? Just make it nice and balanced and plan. Just focus on what really matters to you. Because if you don't water your plants, you don't water your pentacles, they are not going to grow, they will not multiply. And I feel like this is the message for this pile. So I hope you will put the effort, you will find this inner balance. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and thank you for watching this video. It was actually quite fun to make. So have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!